Hey, Changemaker! Welcome to Learning for Good, the only podcast that teaches nonprofit leaders how to leverage training to drive performance, improve capacity, and fuel their mission impact. Do you ever feel like your nonprofit is growing, but your people just aren't keeping up? Or like you're fixing the same problems over and over? Do you wonder how to build confident, capable staff who know how to lead, not just execute? If we haven't met yet, I'm Heather, and I know how hard it can feel to get people to do what's expected of them. Trust me, I have 3 kids. I've tried telling people what to do and how. I've tried the traditional training approaches, and I realized that just doesn't work. And that's when I started researching what does work. Now, I help mission-driven leaders use learning to drive performance, build capacity, and make change that lasts. And I'm sharing it all on this podcast. So block your calendar, turn off your Teams or Slack chat, and let's dive in. It's Learning for Good. Stress. When we feel it, it affects us. We might start to get aches and pains in our joints, can increase our heart rate, can cause flare-ups and skin conditions. We might lose our hair. It impacts our digestive system. We get headaches. You might find yourself getting sick more often. And sleep? Well, that's not going to be great either. Stress has a huge impact on us as individuals, but it can also impact our organization. Performance problems, employee turnover, confusion. And unfortunately, many nonprofits have entered a season of stress. So what can we do to manage that stress? How can we continue to build capacity for the work ahead of us? Because the needs are still there. And how can training help? That's where we're headed today. Let's dive in. It's Learning for Good. What do we do in times of stress? We still have things to accomplish. People who are dependent on us, a mission to fulfill. So what do? I'm going to share 3 things you can do now. First, prioritize the most important things. We can't do everything at once, even on a good day. If your resources are suddenly stretched, that's even more true. We have to streamline and simplify. Go back to your mission. Go back to your strategies. What are the things that cannot shift? These are the things that make you who you are. What are the things that contribute to organizational survival? These are the things that will allow you to continue to be who you are. What are the things that enable you to fulfill those other things? I'm big on priorities. And when my day or my week or my month starts to look really busy, I go into my calendar and I see where my time is going. I compare that with my list of things I know need to be done, and I add in my non-negotiables. And from there, I can start to make shifts. Does something need to wait? Can I find a way to be more efficient? Can I delegate some things? I only know what action to take if I'm being intentional. I'm looking at my calendar. I'm looking at my priorities. I'm looking at those non-negotiables. How does my calendar compare to your organization in times of stress? You can't do everything. So how do you know what to do? One of the things that I say is just do the next right thing. But what is that? Look at the data that your organization has collected. Create feedback loops between staff and managers. List out all the things that you're doing. You might need to stop some things. You might need to start some new things. some things might just have to wait. You have to get clear, prioritize, and then communicate those priorities to your teams because they need to know what those expectations are in order to meet them. Second, we need to enable people to share institutional knowledge. Document all the things. I know it sounds like work, but it is important. Create SOPs, standard operating procedures, create checklists, capture screen recordings of people doing the work. And if you aren't already, start cross-training your staff. Leverage peer learning. Use Slack channels if you have them. Add lunch and learns for knowledge sharing. It's unfortunate, but layoffs are often a part of the conversation in times of stress and uncertainty. And sometimes people leave on their own when things feel unstable. We don't want to be reactive. We want to be proactive. I talk more about this in my episode on succession planning with Naomi Hattaway. I'll drop the link to that episode in the show notes. This is important not just for critical roles. Sharing institutional knowledge will make the team stronger. Always, not just in times of stress, but it will also help with continuity in the event that someone does leave, and it can help reduce burnout for those who are left behind. So by taking the time to share institutional knowledge, you're building capacity for what's ahead. Finally, prepare your managers. Your people managers are going to be the ones holding the organization together in many ways. They're going to be the ones communicating changes and other initiatives. They're going to be asked the tough questions. They're going to take on the emotional stress of their people. They're going to grieve. We have to equip our people managers with training and coaching and other tools so they feel capable of leading through uncertainty, of leading in times of change. Maybe that's training or tools for change leadership. Maybe that's training or tools for communication. Maybe it's something else altogether, but providing them with the resources they need to lead in times of uncertainty, it's so important. Now, are there other things you can do? Absolutely. This is a list of 3 things that I know you can do even in times of stress. And these 3 things can help reduce overwhelm and burnout while allowing you to focus on the most important things. That will build your capacity now. It will build your capacity for the future. I'll see you next time on Learning for Good.
Hey friend, was this episode helpful for you? Did you like what you heard? Do you want more content like this? Here are 3 things you can do. Hit subscribe. Leave a review on Apple Podcasts or your podcast app of choice. Share this episode with a colleague. This means so much to me personally. I read every review, but it also helps me learn what content you like most so I can create more of what you want. All right, turn that Teams or Slack chat back on when you're ready, and I'll see you next time on Learning for Good.